Hey guys, it's Scott here from Convoling. Today we're going to take a look at the Gen components inside of the Convoling React library. They allow you to generate structured data and render that structured data all inside of the same React component. We have two examples we're going to take a look at. We have our solar system example, which is the list of the planets in our solar system. And then we have this PDF adventure game where you can battle some creatures based on the content that's inside your PDF. So if we take a look at our solar system example, we're doing some basic rendering here. We're rendering the name of the planet, a fun fact that gets generated about the planet, and then the number of moons and distance from the sun, and a image for the planet. So we can scroll down the list, see all the planets in our solar system. So let's go and switch over to the code and see what's going on behind the scenes here. So we can see our Gen component here. So this is getting imported from the Convoling React library. We're doing a few things here. One, we're enabling caching, so it'll save you a lot of tokens. So anytime that there is the same prompt that gets sent to the LLM, the results that'll get cached and prevent overusing a lot of tokens in situations that you don't need to. And then we are, then we have a Convoling script defined here. We have our planet structure, so this is going to tell the LLM the structure of the data that we want returned. And we can see all the properties for our planet. We have our name, visual description, a few other properties there. And then we're using our JSON tag to enable JSON mode and then pass the planet schema to the model. And then in our user message, we're just simply telling the model to generate a list of planets in our solar system. And then that list will conform to our planet structure above. Below, we can see our for each render function here. So this function will get called for every planet that gets generated. And this will allow us to render out each of those planets in the rows that we saw in the UI. And then here we can see our Gen image component. This is actually what's generating the images of the planets that we saw to the right. There's the prompt, so that defines the prompt that generates the image. And then we also have this art style property, so we can actually control the art style of our images. So right now, we're using pixel art, but say if we wanted to switch to just a modern art style, save that, and then now we can see we actually have modern art styled planets. So as you can imagine, you can pass in any number of styles that you'd want, and then the images would be updated accordingly. So that was the solar system example. So pretty simple example of using the Gen component. Next, we'll take a look at our PDF adventure game here. So here we have a list of creatures that we can battle. So this list of creatures is generated off of a PDF that we upload. And then we also get a creature that we get a battle with. Again, this is generated off the content of the PDF. So I can select an attack to use and then attack one of the enemies. And you can see the hit points get reduced there. And then one of the creatures attack me back. And then we can kind of go through that back and forth. But we'll go and take a look at the code and see what's going on here. So this is an example of using multiple Gen components together. So if we get down into the main render body, we have our first Gen component, and it is it's taking use of this shared combo script, which we should probably take a look at this first, as this was actually reused in all the Gen components, including the children Gen components. So similar to the planets example, we are defining some structures. This is going to help determine the structure of the data that our model is going to generate. We have a system message, so we're just telling the model to act as a expert game creator, and that they are to generate games based on the book below. And then we're using the read doc function. So the read doc function in Convoling, what it's doing here is it's reading our document that we select, and then it's using a vision model to actually extract information from that document. There's a number of advantages to using the vision model. Mainly, if you have PDFs that have a lot of images, you actually get the full context of that PDF. And then we also have a conditional user instruction. So if you so at the beginning of this experience, we can add additional user instructions to customize the generation. But we'll take a look at that here after we get a little bit further. But if we come back to the main render body, we can see again we have our gen component, and then our combo script is very simple here. We're just saying generate a list of levels based on the book, and since it's using that shared combo script, it's going to read the data from the book and then generate levels based on that book. And then here we can see where we're rendering the data that gets returned from the model. We're also using this onGen callback function to take that list of levels and store that in a state variable. So we're going to use that later on. And then if we come a little bit further down, we can see another use of the gen image component here. This is used to generate the background image. And then as we come down even further, we can see our first gen child component. So the children components, they operate in a way that allow them to have access to variables and content that get generated by their parent gen components. And then what we're doing with this gen component is we're generating our list of creatures. So the creatures that we see along the top row, those get generated here. So we're using the JSON tag again to say that we want a list of creatures, and then we're also telling it to generate those creatures based on a particular level, so the level that we're currently on. And then once the model generates that data, we're using the for each render callback function again, and here we're rendering a creature card. So the creature card basically just takes properties of the creature, renders them out in a nice way that makes it nice to look at. Then if we come down a little bit further, we're using another gen component to generate our creature that our player is using to battle with. If we jump back over to the game, we can go a little bit further, attack a few more of the creatures here, and kind of see the interaction. So as you can see, as we play through the game, my hit points, get lowered as the creatures attack me. But let's go and take a step back. We'll go to the beginning of this page, and we can see, where we're selecting our PDF. So we'll do, we'll add some custom instructions this time, and let's say, make all the creatures cats. And maybe let's change the art style. Let's say 80s pop. And then we'll go ahead and we'll go and do we'll use the Thanksgiving story. So this time, instead of basing it off of a deep sea PDF, which is just a PDF with a bunch of information about different sea creatures, we're going to use a short PDF about Thanksgiving. And here, see, we have our first generation that was completed. Now we have some of our images that are getting filled in. Now, okay, we got our background image, and now we can see our character, our Whiskers, the pilgrim cat. And as you can see from our custom user instruction, we told it all the creatures should be cats, so we can see a bunch of different cats. All their attacks are based on being a cat, and also our Thanksgiving PDF. But yeah, so maybe I'll just take a swipe at one of these cats. It looks like I'm they definitely got an advantage on me. They all have a good amount of HP and good attacks, but yeah, that's an example of using the gen components to generate content and structured data and render that all in the same component. You can find this example on GitHub. So if you take a look, go to the Convoling repo. There's a dedicated example for the Next.js code here, so you can dive in and clone this project. There's also some of the other examples, building agents and other things here. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Let me know if there's anything else that you would like to see, you'd like to see me build using the gen components, or anything else that you have in mind. Thank you.